In a good way.
Bonjour, my name is David DeVere. I'm a wine and spirits educator and world traveler. You are watching Savvy Nomad TV. This is the Eau de Vie edition, and we are talking about this little Advent Scotch box. This is episode 3. We're going to taste number 5 and 6 in just a minute, but I want to impart some little bit of knowledge that is left out often when people talk about whiskey. Now, one of the most important things in whiskey is the barrel. It's so important. In fact, it's not just important in whiskeys, it's important in cognacs, because when the distillate comes out, when that alcohol is first actually produced in the still, it is clear. It's clear as water. I mean, it's vodka clean, vodka clear. In fact, it could be considered vodka if you just left it like that and did nothing to it. But the oak barrel takes vodka and turns it into whiskey. Now, that's a simplification because you have the distillate coming through. It has all the aromas, the smoky aromas, all those different conjugars from the barley or the grain or the way that it was fermented. Those aromas exist, but the oak barrel finishes that off. Now, if you look at a Scotch or a whiskey, you will find that the color ranges from light golden all the way down into these deep honey colors. And that color is imparted simply from the oak barrel. So let's talk about the oak barrel just for a second. The Romans didn't know the oak barrel existed. They didn't use oak barrels. They cut down most of their forests to make fleets so they could fight the Carthaginians. So they used clay. They put everything in an amphora, a big clay pot. When they ventured north of the Alps, they got into what they called Gaul, but we would call that France. When they went up into that area and they encountered the tribes up there, these were iron-working Celtic tribes, and they were making oak barrels. And the Romans looked at that and thought, ooh, interesting thing to store stuff in. And why was it interesting? Well, because it's fairly simple to make. You don't have to make the stays all perfect. You can actually make them fit together. And when this oak barrels get liquid in them, they swell up and they seal. Whether this next part was known to the Romans or the Gauls is lost to history. But when you put wine inside of an oak barrel, the oxygen actually passes through the cellular structure of the oak. Doesn't allow the water to get out, but it allows oxygen to come in, and it starts to oxidize and age the wine. And the oak imparts flavor to the wine. So if you take something like alcohol, which is a solvent, and you put it in an oak barrel, wow, that really imparts the flavor of the oak. Now, an oak barrel only imparts its flavor one time when aging wine. You can age wine in used oak barrels, but winemakers use oak judiciously, whether they want those vanilla tones or those coconut flavors or the other things that oak adds, the oakiness. They have to be careful about how much oakiness they use because maybe they don't want that much in their wine. But when it comes to whiskeys, the door is thrown completely open. And in fact, in Scotches and other whiskey distilleries, they often use used oak. So they might go down to Spain and say to the sherry producers, give me all your broken barrels. I'll take it all. Or they'll go to France and grab all the old used oak barrels that have all had this wine in them. Or they'll go to Portugal and they'll grab all the port barrels. Or they'll go to America and grab those first cast bourbon barrels. Now, bourbon wants its oak imparted the first time. They want that oaky flavor, and so they use new oak in bourbon. But in Scotch, they want to use old oak. So they will take old sherry or old port, old rum, old wine casks, and literally put the barrels back together. They'll just take broken barrels, throw it into a heap, and then coopers, Scottish coopers, will put these things back together, and then they'll age their scotches in those, and the flavors of the sherries, the ports, the wines, and the bourbons are all going to be imparted. Think about the complexity of those flavors are all going to be imparted to the scotch. So the scotch gets its flavors from two sources. Number one, from the original malt, that original beer that was brewed, and the smokiness to cook the malt, and two, from the oak barrel and how that barrel was used in its previous life before it became a scotch barrel. Okay, let's go outside and taste today's scotches.
1, 7, 5, and 15, 5, and 9. Oh, goody. Whew. We get a young and old again today.
What a difference a week makes.
I don't even need my earmuffs.
I don't even have gloves on, and my hands aren't turning red like in the first episode. And we are on the banks of Lake Superior here. The shore is sandy right close to town, but as you move up the North Shore, it becomes very rocky. And look how dramatic and awesome the lake is today. It's flat, calm, there's barely a breeze. And
Silver. I love it when it's silver.
the tripod is sitting on an ice floe, and you can see the little bits of ice. It's 30-some degrees. It's super weirdly warm for this time of year. What a difference. We're probably 60 degrees warmer this Friday than we were last Friday.
That was cold.
Here's our box. It's going to go out of the shot onto an ice floe where we've got it set up. Shall we start our first tasting?
Cute.
Okay.
I love this little box. It's so cute.
Here's your glass with your foam thing on it.
And
Box is going to go down here.
now, not having to wear mittens or gloves makes it a little easier to maneuver. There we go.
Yep.
You want that? Or
Well, you can hold that.
Okay.
Okay, so this is our first scotch. It's a 5-year-old from the Highlands Ardmore Bourbon Barrel.
okay. Once you pour it, I'll read a little bit while you do the honors of second sniff.
Second sniff, nice.
Well, I know what I smelled, but I'm not saying anything. Okay. 5 years old, Ardmore Distillery, like you said, cask bourbon barrel, nose, according to this, gingerbread, flamed orange peel, which does smell good, damson and stewed plums.
I get vanilla.
I got peat again.
You got peat, vanilla and peat, vanilla
Light,
and smoke.
very light smoky peat, not like the number 3, I think, is the one that was so peaty before.
Oh yeah,
Oh no, now that he swirled and whatnot, it's a lot peatier.
it's, I ain't gonna ruin it.
Okay, I better hurry up.
Yeah,
and
hurry
sip.
up.
Yeah, get on with this.
Come on.
Sweet.
Peaty.
Sweet peat.
Sweet peat. Now let's add a little water to it. Let's see if it
Hot
opens
in
up.
the burning heart. Okay, palate, oat cakes, toasted barley with a touch of nuttiness. Well, that's probably kind of the smokiness too. Almond flakes and honey roasted peanuts and brown sugar. It was very sweet, like caramelized brown sugar. That does make it more orangey. It does diminish the smell somewhat.
Yeah, it's a little fruitier.
It's fruitier.
That's really interesting. It's fruitier and it's still smoky though.
It's still smoky.
The finish from the first sip is so intensely long here.
Yeah,
It's just,
really long.
and it's coating the tongue, and it's prickly, a little bit spicy on the tongue.
Yes, I hear a duck coming. Was fun. Finish, soft, peppery smoke. Definitely soft, peppery smoke.
Yeah,
for sure.
I agree. Peppery
Contrasted
smoke.
by a sweet hint of strawberry.
No, I don't get that.
I still The burnt orange peel, or like smoky orange peel, and soft peppery smoke. Yes, that was pretty accurate.
Let me check the camera.
Good idea.
Did you say swimming?
I said swimming.
Lake Superior.
And not in a wetsuit either.
Lake
just
Superior
their skivvies.
in the summertime is like 42 degrees. So today it's probably 42 degrees,
Which is really cold.
which makes the lake actually about 10 degrees warmer than the atmosphere.
Oh, so maybe it was kind of warm and refreshing then.
This is 9-year-old from Speyside. The distillery is Tamuvulan.
Easy for you to say.
Tamuvulan.
Whoa there. Oh, interesting. I'm not done sniffing that at all, but I'll read a little bit while you sniff. Right, Tamnavulin. Maybe somebody will correct us if that's not quite right.
I'm sure it's not right.
Plenty of oak on the nose, they say, backed up by rounded cereal notes. It, to me, smelled like something with oil, but in a good way, not like a diesel or anything, which can also be a good note, but oh, that is intriguing. I
Hard to
don't know
put your
what-
finger on
I
what
don't
exactly
know.
is in here.
Okay, this is interesting.
It's subtle though. It's not.
very
It's
subtle.
not bright and punchy aromatics. It's subtle.
It's very interesting. So maybe this will help us answer it. Palette of runny caramel, I guess, versus hard caramel. Punchy malt and a hint of black tea. So I think what we're smelling is that like an Earl Grey kind of some kind of Assam, I don't know. Some kind of a black tea smell.
Now you're just showing off
I
your
know,
tea skills.
I don't even know what I'm talking about. Okay.
Bergamot. It's rich. It's rounded. I did get the cereal notes, kind of a graininess to the first sip.
That's hot going down. Remember when I said before that I smelled or tasted something soapy? I'm getting that a little bit here too, and it makes
Soapy.
me think about people who think that cilantro tastes like soap, which I don't think it does, but I feel like I'm having that reaction. This increases the smell of that like oil or, I don't know, it smells good though.
It's softer now with the water in it.
I think that one is better with water.
It's
Are
a
they
little
both-
more floral, honestly.
Yeah.
That's the aroma that I would get if I was smelling a wine. These are floral notes,
Yeah.
like violets.
Finish of earthy spices. It says, I really have to think more about what that smell is.
It's nice.
It's very nice. I'm going to go ahead and set that aside.
I think I might have preferred it in the mouth.
I didn't even get a second sip. Anywho.
I think I might have preferred it in the mouth more straight without the water, but the aroma was better with the water.
It was so complex, I can't decide which way it seemed better to me as far as if it had the water or without the water. That one was very interesting. The first one was good too. I think they're both winners.
We have half a tiny bottle left, so it's not like I drank it all.
We still have half bottles of all of them left.
Okay, well that is Scotch number 5 and 6. So we're a third through the box. I hope you are enjoying this series. I hope you like our outdoor areas that we're taking you to. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving us a thumbs up. And if you're new here, please consider subscribing. We've got 18 more scotches to try, which gives us lots of opportunity to drink outside some more. So,
Uh-oh, here, quick. We don't have any left, but we have to cheers, everybody. Get your glass. Cheers.
cheers.
Thanks for
Until
joining
next
us.
time, à tout à l'heure.
Bye.